What possesses someone to take an already impressive performance machine and proceed to double, even triple its power output? Is 600, 700, 800 horsepower just not enough? Lamborghinis have never been seen as underpowered in the slightest, but when combined with twin turbochargers, some ECU tweaks, and some exotic fuels, something magical happens. What the V10 and V12 engines of Lamborghini lack in affordability are made up with immense power capabilities that are almost incomprehensible for a street-driven car. There's tuning shops that specialize in taking your, for lack of a better word, average Lamborghini into a car that makes a Bugatti Chiron's performance figures look like child's play. The V10 Huracans and Gallardos were once seen as a lesser desirable alternative to the V12 Murcielago and Aventador, but the advent of turbocharging solutions have given them a reputation of the kings of road racing. Today on Explain, we will take a deep dive into how Lamborghini engines are just so good when you add some boost to the equation. This story starts with Audi, which in 1998 acquired Lamborghini for $110 million, seeing how they had an immensely talented engineering team with experts such as Maurizio Reggiani, who was involved in the quad-turbo V12 powered Bugatti EB110. But also it was plagued by poor internal management. Lamborghini had been working on an entry-level Baby Diablo model, which was materialized as the Lamborghini Cala concept car, which had a mid-engine 4-liter V10 and a 6-speed manual transmission with a carbon fiber body and aluminum chassis. The Cala would never blossom into fruition, but it would form the building blocks for its spiritual successor, the Lamborghini Gallardo. This new Gallardo's power plant was an evolution of the Cala's V10, bumping up from 4 liters to 5 liters in displacement using an Audi cast aluminum block with an under-square bore and stroke configuration and a special crankshaft featuring an 18-degree offset crank pin, giving it an even firing pulse every 72 degrees of crankshaft rotation. This even firing configuration gave the Gallardo an F1-esque sound profile. And combined with its dual overhead cam 40 valve cylinder heads with continuous variable valve timing, it could rev beyond 8,000 RPM and produce 493 brake horsepower and 376 pound-feet of torque. The Gallardo was all-wheel drive with the choice of a traditional gated 6-speed manual or E-gear, which was a single-clutch automated manual similar to BMW's SMG transmissions. In 2003, the Gallardo debuted for the 2004 model year, and first-year sales were double of the flagship V12 Murcielago, which confirmed Lamborghini had a new hot-ticket item. It wouldn't be long before owners would start to explore the capabilities of this new architecture. Not long after the Gallardo's introduction, a shop in Sarasota, Florida by the name of Hefner Performance would be the first to explore twin turbocharging the Gallardo. Jason Hefner made a name for himself supercharging Lamborghini Diablos and Vipers, and quickly built a reputation of successfully boosting fragile exotics. In 2005, Hefner would develop the Twin Turbo 700, which used twin water-cooled ball-bearing turbos forcing 10 psi of air into the Gallardo's V10. The stock pistons were swapped for forged dish pistons, and the compression was lowered to 9:1 from the original 11:1, and the engine produced 700 brake horsepower and 505 pound-feet of torque, and propelled the Gallardo to an 11.4 second quarter mile, which was 1 full second faster than factory. This was a $55,000 package that transformed the baby Lambo into a giant killer. As the years progressed, Hefner would develop the Gallardo even further with 900 horsepower, 1500 horsepower, and even 2000 horsepower packages that would incorporate sleeved engine blocks, standalone Motec ECUs, air-to-water intercooling, and exotic C16 race fuel. And he would be the first to put the Gallardo in the 8 second quarter mile range. By 2008, Lamborghini would update the Gallardo with the new LP560 nomenclature, which was more than just a naming system. The Gallardo received a new V10, which shared little with its predecessor. The new Audi block had a larger 90mm bore spacing and a 2mm larger bore diameter, giving it a 5.2-liter displacement. The crank pins were no longer offset, giving the V10 uneven firing intervals, which made a noticeable sound difference. The new V10 also introduced direct injection, which allowed compression to rise to 12.5 to 1 versus the prior 11.0 to 1. This new engine architecture was more robust and it was even more accepting of forced induction. A company known as UGR, or Underground Racing, would push these LP cars to new heights with their twin-turbo 2R packages that featured two enormous 72mm billet turbochargers. The list of upgrades are long and of course expensive, in fact just as much as the cost of the car. What this package was good at was setting world records in the standing half mile. Just as impressive in sanctioned racing events, the Gallardos were formidable opponents on the street. The permanent all-wheel drive system meant that even with 4-digit horsepower figures, the Gallardo could put all the power down to the wheels with minimal wheel spin. The decade-long run of the Gallardo solidified it as the most successful Lamborghini model up to that point, and its successor would have very large V10 shoes to fill. In 2014, Lamborghini raised the bar with the creation of the Huracan LP610-4. It was a large leap forward from a technology perspective with torque vectoring all-wheel drive, electric power steering, and an all-new 7-speed Lamborghini Doppia Frizione, which translates to dual-clutch transmission. The V10 was also massaged with higher compression to 12.7 to 1 and dual fuel injection, where the direct injection would activate in high engine load scenarios, and in low load scenarios, it runs on the multi-port fuel injection. Since the engine architecture was heavily carried over from the LP560 Gallardo, that meant development of forced induction Huracans happened at record pace. AMS Performance's Alpha 12 package retains the stock engine but with a bolt-on turbo kit that has a fit and finish better than the factory components, and with flex fuel integration and Motec controls, it has seen as high as 1200 wheel horsepower on the factory components. Even just as impressive is, since the vast majority of the engine is stock, it drives just like a stock Huracan. If that's not impressive enough, AMS has a 3,000 horsepower Alpha Omega Huracan that goes deep into the 7-second quarter mile time. The Gallardo and Huracan are very special to automotive culture as a whole because they suffer from what I like to call Supra syndrome. Similar to the Mark IV Supra, when it first released, it wasn't the best looking. The 300ZX was, in my opinion, prettier. The FD-RX-7 was a better performance machine. It wasn't until Mad Men started strapping huge single turbos and pushing 800, 900 quadruple digit horsepower numbers is once they became heavily fantasized about. Same with the Gallardo. The Murcielago was faster, boasted more traditional Lamborghini DNA with the screaming V12, but as the more adventurous and, let's be honest, wealthier gearheads got a hold of the Gallardo, it would be just as revered as the Murcielago, but not for its lineage, but the ability to create world record-setting machines. This is a good reminder of you shouldn't underestimate the little guy.